Hi, Jerry.
Hi. Okay. Well, I am all set.
Okay.
I like the way when you have a moment that you just simply call me and say, okay, let's do some more.
Okay. Will you send me a copy of this tape?
I certainly will.
Great. I'd appreciate it.
Yes, yes.
Okay. I told you the story about Dr. Schern, didn't I?
No, the Wayne Newton song?
Right. Well, that song was brought to me again by my friend Hal Fine, the gentleman who I turned Strangers in the Night down with, lipstick on your collar.
You were going to spend some time talking about songs that you had turned down, so maybe now's a good time to do that.
Right. Well, at any rate, he brought the song to me. I knew it was a hit, but I had just come off Never on Sunday, which was a big album, and I had done it in all the languages, and I just felt that I didn't want to repeat something similar to it. So I suggested Wayne Newton, because Bobby Darin and I were great Wayne Newton fans. We had seen him perform just recently before that. And I said, you bring this to a kid by the name of Wayne Newton, and it'll be a hit. So he did. That's how Wayne Newton got the song. So I did the song in all the languages, foreign languages, and Wayne did it in the United States. Then there was that wonderful evening when I went to the premiere of Dr. Zhivago in L.A. And the next morning, bright and early, I called Arnold Maxim, who was president of MGM Records. I said, Arnold, you've got to get that song in the movie, because it was only this is like a test thing. You've got to get lyrics to that Laris theme. I said, in this movie. I said, because it's gorgeous. And he said, David Lean won't allow it. So I said, well, then you got to get lyrics written. I said, it's a number one song. It's a hit record. It's gorgeous. So he said, okay, who do you want to write it? I said, okay, let me think a minute. And I said, okay, Paul Francis Webster, who had written Love is a Many Splendid Thing, 3 Coins in the Fountain, on into the next century. So I called Paul, and I said, Paul, I wanted to do this song right away because the movie's out, and I'd like you to, how long do you think it'll take you to do the lyrics? He said, about a week. I said, okay, great. So a little less than that time, he called me back, and he said, he played me the lyrics and with the music. And I said, oh, come on, Paul. I said, it's 1950, whatever it was. I said, these Moon, June, Spoon, Charms, Arms songs, they've had it. Somewhere, My Love, there will be songs to sing, although the earth covers the whatever of spring. I said, give me a break. I said, these are 1922 lyrics. I said, how long will it take you to rewrite them? He said, that's all I wrote. I'm not going to rewrite them. I said, well, I'm not going to record it. He said, so don't. I said, well, I'll tell you what, why don't you give it to Ray Conniff? I said, he'll probably have a hit on this. I said, this is too square for me. I can't cut it. So he had a $3 million record with Ray Conniff on it. Somewhere in My Love.
Somewhere in My Love.
And I did it in all the foreign languages.
Oh, this is great. I like these stories. Next.
Unbelievable, right?
What else?
Well, there are those kinds of there are certain reasons why people consistently have hits, and generally it's what I call the perfect marriages. That I told you the Bacharach and David story. Mm-hmm. Well, that was Dionne Warwick was a match made in heaven. Petula Clark and Tony Hatch was a match made in heaven. Erwin Levine, Larry Brown, and Tony Orlando was another match made in heaven. And I could go on and on. Al Gallico, on all of the songs that he had written for Olivia Newton-John, Everly Brothers, and Bud Bryant, and anybody who sings a Carol Baker song, forget about it. To me, she is incredible. One day, someone handed me a list of the sheet music. I was just going to try some songs, And I went through this big list of sheet music, and I picked out just arbitrarily, at random, 11 songs. All 11 songs were Carol Baker songs.
And you didn't know that when you picked them out?
No, I didn't realize it. until I mean, I knew some of them were, but I just didn't realize that all of them were.
So that made you a fan right away?
No, I mean, I was a fan way before.
Oh.
But it was amazing that of all, you know, because I did it quickly. Here, these are the things I want to try. And they were all of them were Carol Bayer Sager songs. I think she's incredible.
Any others that you turned down?
Howie Greenfield and Connie Francis. I mean, the problem, you see, Neil, Howie, and I recorded Neil's first song for Donnie Kirshner. Also, Bobby Darin gave a Splish Splash to Donnie Kirshner. And what happened was that we got very few royalties from any of the things that Kirshner did.
Mm-hmm.
And then, after having gotten Neil and Howie the title song, see, we had a 50-50 publishing arrangement between us, and Bobby too.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Bobby got very angry with him and never talked to him again. But the royalties were like ridiculous, $8,000 worldwide for Stupid Cupid, and it was ridiculous. So Tony, or when I asked for, when they got the title song to where the boys are. After that, I got a call from Donnie saying that's the end of all publishing, split publishing from now on. And I mean, I couldn't believe that, because it was after I had gone way out on a limb for that. Here's another story.
Okay, sure.
You asked me the other day about why Robot Man wasn't on the other side of Mama.
In Los Angeles, where I was at the time, the song was played by both you and by Jamie Horton.
Well, what happened was that I had an arrangement that Paul had been asking to write a song for me for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote this song called Teddy, and I had only 2 songs in the can at the time. One was Teddy, and one was this silly song I hated too, called Robot Man.
Mm-hmm.
So when Mama was rushed as a rush single after the Perry Como show, incidentally, the arrangement was we had a 50-50 partnership deal on this song, on Teddy. So I said, do you want to send the papers over for that? Oh, yeah, definitely. But he didn't. Now, since it was a rush release, I called Mr. Anka at Spanka Music.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm releasing on the other side of Mama a Teddy, because I hate the other song I have in the can. Neither of them am I crazy about, but this one is better than the other one. So I said, Paul and I have a 50-50 deal. Oh, don't worry about it. If Paul says that's it, you don't have to worry about it. He's in Europe right now, but okay. I said, no problem. I had them press, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands in the United States of the single, with Teddy on the other side. Paul came back and said, I never said such a thing. I said, what? What did you just say? I never said we were going to have a 50-50 publishing. I said, okay, fine. Hold the presses. In England and all over the world, I stopped Teddy on the other side.
Oh.
And put Robot Man, which became #1 for 6 weeks in the UK. And all over the world, it was a big, big hit. I thought it was the dumbest song ever recorded. But that's why the other side of that song, it was different.